After everything I've done for you, 5 words, your chest tightens, you feel the weight, the obligation, the shame, and suddenly you're doing something you don't want to do, something that violates your boundaries, because refusing feels like betrayal. This is a guilt trip, and it works because you haven't learned the one Stoic response that dismantles it completely. The ancient Stoics faced manipulation far more sophisticated than you'll encounter: social obligation, family expectation, all weaponized. They survived with a framework so simple it fits in one sentence. Today I'm showing you exactly what it is and how to use it. The mechanism. First, understand how guilt trips actually work. Someone wants something from you. Instead of asking directly and accepting your no, they create emotional debt. I sacrificed so much for you. No one else would put up with this. I guess I'm the only one who cares around here. These aren't statements. They're emotional invoices demanding payment. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Guilt trips work through imagination. You imagine their disappointment, their pain, the relationship damage. That imagined suffering controls you more effectively than any actual consequence. Marcus Aurelius understood. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. The guilt trip isn't the problem. Your acceptance of false debt is the problem. Here's the Stoic solution, the Stoic response. When someone guilt trips you, you say one sentence: "I appreciate what you've done. That doesn't create an obligation for me to do this." That's it. 2 parts, both essential. Part 1. I appreciate what you've done. This acknowledges reality. They may have helped you. You can recognize that without owing them your agency. Epictetus taught, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Appreciation without obligation is possible. In fact, it's the only form of genuine appreciation. Obligated gratitude isn't gratitude, it's debt servitude. Part 2. That doesn't create an obligation for me to do this. This separates past actions from present demands. What they did then doesn't automatically obligate you now. Marcus Aurelius. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. The insane believe past favors create infinite future obligations. The sane believe each request stands on its own merit. Let me show you exactly how this works in real situations. Scenario 1. Family guilt. Family guilt trips are the most common and most effective. After I raised you, put you through school, sacrificed my career for you, you won't even visit for the holidays. Old response. Feel crushing guilt. Cancel plans you wanted. Go to holiday you don't want. Resent everyone. Stoic response. I appreciate everything you did raising me. That doesn't create an obligation for me to spend holidays in a way that doesn't work for my life. Watch what happens. They escalate. So you're saying all those years meant nothing. The trap. They're trying to make you defend yourself. Don't. I'm saying I appreciate those years, and I'm making the decision that works for me now. Notice what you didn't do. Didn't deny what they did. Didn't argue about whether you owe them. Didn't justify your decision with reasons they can attack. You acknowledged and separated. The core Stoic move. Seneca. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Their parenting ended. Your adult autonomy began. These are separate phases. Past sacrifice doesn't override present boundaries. Scenario 2. Relationship guilt. Romantic relationships weaponize guilt constantly. I've stayed with you through everything. Your struggles, your mistakes, your worst moments. Now you won't do this one thing for me? This is particularly insidious because it packages legitimate relationship history as justification for any request. Old response. Feel terrible. Comply. Build resentment. Repeat. Stoic response. I appreciate you staying through difficult times. That doesn't mean every request you make is automatically reasonable. They respond. So I should have left when things got hard. Another trap. They're trying to make you defend them staying, which implies you owe them for staying. Don't take it. You chose to stay. I'm grateful, and I'm still evaluating each request on its merits. This does something crucial. It refuses to convert their choice into your debt. Epictetus taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Their choice to stay was theirs. It doesn't control your present choices. That's freedom. Real example. Last year, partner said, I supported your career change when everyone said it was crazy. Now you won't support my business idea. My response, I appreciated that support deeply. It doesn't mean I should support ideas I genuinely think won't work. I can appreciate your past support and disagree with your current plan. Were they happy? No. Did it preserve both the relationship and my boundaries? Yes. Scenario 3. Workplace guilt. Professional guilt trips are subtle but powerful. I went to bat for you with leadership. Got you this position. Now you're going to leave us hanging on this project. Old response, feel obligated. Take on work that's not your responsibility. Burn out. Stoic response, I appreciate you advocating for me. That doesn't make every project request an obligation. Boss escalates. That's not how it works around here. When someone helps you, you help them. This is the quid pro quo trap. They're establishing that all past help creates infinite future obligation. Block it. I'm grateful for past help. I evaluate new requests based on capacity and appropriateness. This project isn't appropriate for my role. Marcus Aurelius, you always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. Their expectation isn't your obligation. Their disappointment isn't your responsibility. These are things you can't control. 2 months ago, former manager, I mentored you for 2 years. You won't even take my call about this opportunity. My response, your mentorship was invaluable. I've decided not to explore this opportunity. Those are separate things. That's incredibly ungrateful. I understand you see it that way. Notice, I didn't argue about whether I'm grateful. I acknowledged their perspective and held my boundary. Seneca, a gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer. If their gift came with invisible strings attached, that's not generosity, it's investment expecting return. You don't owe returns on investments you didn't agree to. The deeper pattern. Here's what guilt trips really are. Someone trying to make their emotional regulation your responsibility. They feel disappointed. Instead of managing that disappointment, they weaponize it to control you. Epictetus, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Your guilt is your mind being complicit. The Stoic response stops that complicity. When you say, I appreciate what you've done, that doesn't create obligation for this. You're doing 4 things. 1. Validating reality. You're not gaslighting them about what happened. 2. Separating past from present. History informs decisions, but doesn't override them. 3. Claiming agency. Your choices are yours regardless of history. 4. Refusing to manage their emotions. Their disappointment is theirs to handle. This feels ruthless the first time you do it. It's not ruthless, it's honest. Marcus Aurelius, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. They're trying to manipulate through guilt. You respond with clarity. You're unlike them. That's not revenge, it's integrity. Common objections. But don't I owe people who've helped me? You owe appropriate gratitude. You don't owe blank checks. If someone gives you a gift, you say thank you. You don't become their indentured servant. If they expected servitude, it wasn't a gift. It was an investment they didn't disclose. This will damage my relationships. Some relationships require damage. Relationships built on guilt and obligation aren't relationships. They're hostage situations. Seneca, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. If someone only values you when you're compliant, they don't value you. They value your compliance. What if they really did sacrifice for me? Acknowledge it. Appreciate it. Don't let it override your present judgment. Parents sacrifice for children. Doesn't mean adult children owe them every decision. Mentors invest in mentees. Doesn't mean mentees owe them their careers. Sacrifice creates gratitude, not ownership. Won't they think I'm selfish? Possibly. Epictetus, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Being called selfish by someone trying to manipulate you through guilt is not meaningful feedback. Integration. Let me show you the full pattern in one conversation. Them, I've been there for you through everything. Now you won't help me with this? You, I appreciate you being there. That doesn't create an obligation for me to do this. Them, so everything I did meant nothing? You, it meant a lot, and I'm still making this decision. Them, that's really selfish. You, I understand you're disappointed. Notice the pattern. Acknowledge without agreeing. Separate past from present. Hold boundary without justifying. Don't absorb their emotional evaluation. 4 moves. Every guilt trip dismantled. The ancient Stoics lived in a culture of obligation. Family duty, social debt, political leverage, all used to control individual choice. They survived by understanding. Gratitude doesn't equal ownership. Appreciation doesn't equal obligation. History doesn't override judgment. You face guilt trips constantly. The family member who gave up everything. The partner who stayed through your worst. The mentor who opened doors for you. Now you have the response. I appreciate what you've done. That doesn't create an obligation for me to do this. 2 sentences. Complete boundaries. Marcus Aurelius. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Your thinking determines whether past favors create present obligations. Choose wisely. Which guilt trip do you face most? Comment below. Subscribe to Stoic Forge for boundaries that hold without apology. Share with someone trapped in someone else's emotional debt. Remember, Appreciation and obligation are not the same thing. Never were, never will be. Thanks for watching. See you next time.